Arcturian Group message, via Marilyn Raffaele, January 30, 2022. Welcome, dear readers. As you are well aware, the world is presently experiencing a great deal of confusion and stress, especially for those who are unaware of the ascension process taking place, and many are saying to themselves, "I don't want to be here any longer." As a result, many have left, or are choosing to leave, and COVID has provided an exit point. You must remember that, because of free will, every soul chooses on a deeper level whether to leave, or stay, although very few, or even individuals themselves, realize this. We spoke in our last message about relationships, and the mystical marriage. We would like to add that when spiritually prepared, their balancing of male and female energy, the mystical marriage, begins automatically, and without conscious effort, through choices and life lessons, whether the person is alone, or in a relationship. The type of relationship makes no difference, heterosexual or homosexual. In the third dimension, relationships are often judged as to their rightness, wrongness, correctness, or even sinfulness based on how they align with certain religious or universal beliefs about what constitutes a proper, or God-endorsed relationship. There is no such thing as a sinful or wrong relationship, if love and respect for both is present. The two major stumbling blocks in every person's journey out of a three-dimensional state of consciousness are relationships, which we have already discussed, and abundance. Mankind has suffered under the burden of lack and limitation for a very long time, not realizing that they themselves were continuing to maintain and sustain it through their belief in it. The belief in lack is firmly established in universal collective consciousness, and pervades every aspect of life on Earth. You have all experienced forms of lack and limitation, especially in earlier lifetimes when extreme lack was accepted as normal. The energy of these experiences has been stored in cellular memory, and carried into the consecutive lifetimes of almost everyone, making lack the dominant belief system on Earth. Abundance is every person's natural birthright, but, because most remain ignorant of their true self, the world as a whole continues to believe that it must struggle, work hard, steal, beg, and suffer even for the most basic of what may be needed. Lack and limitation on all levels, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, is simply the material manifestation of the belief in duality. Have, don't have. And separation from one's good and God. You are ready and prepared to move beyond the firmly established false beliefs that surround lack and limitation by actually accepting that you are in fact a divine being, not a limited human being subject to all the good and bad floating in the collective. You are God individualized, and therefore embody all that God is, and cannot lack, simply because the idea of lack does not exist in self-sustained, self-maintained divine consciousness. If it did, it would be held in place by divine law forever, never to be removed. The first step toward moving into a consciousness of abundance is to get the flow going. Donate what you not longer use, or need, put something in the tip jar, give your time and energy to someone, or something that needs it. When you pay bills, realize that, because there is only one, the money is flowing from your right hand to your left. Through you. From an infinite source within. Rather than from your personal three-dimensional sense of supply. Which must always be limited, because of the belief in duality, whether at present there is a lot, or a little. It doesn't matter the amount, start with 1 penny, if that is what you have. What matters is the consciousness with which the giving of anything flows. I have, because I am. As God beings, your resources are unlimited. Observe the infinity of the blades of grass, trees, etc., always multiplying. Multiplication is divine law. Consciously acknowledge, and begin to express money, goods, time, love, service, creativity, etc. in awareness of your divine completeness. As we have said many times, consciousness is the substance of form, and, if you continually make I don't have your state of consciousness, then mind, which is the interpreter of consciousness, will see to it that you manifest exactly that. Many say they have tried these practices, and they don't work, everything just remains the same. You must remember that in order for any idea on any level to become a manifesting state of consciousness, it must first come into one's awareness, become knowledge, and acceptance, and then practiced. This is true of everything, whether it be learning to drive a car, or attaining the consciousness of a spiritual truth. As a person continues to remember, know, and practice sharing, and giving from the realization that it is flowing through them from an unlimited self-sustained, self-maintained source, and not personally from them, it gradually becomes their state of consciousness, and what is needed, not just wanted, begins to flow more easily, and naturally, and often from where least expected. Remember that as an individualization of Source, God, divine consciousness, you are the fullness of God. And not just a part. You only believed that you were a limited human being, because over the course of living many lifetimes permeated with false beliefs of duality, separation, and two powers, you became hypnotized into believing that you were separate, less than, and worthless unless you conform to specific societal, or religious laws, and standards of perfection. The evolutionary process does not take place in one moment, but rather unfolds as each person moves into spiritual readiness for their next step. The old, dense, and obsolete energies that have held you prisoner for so long are now clearing personally, and globally, and being replaced with higher dimensional frequencies of light that will allow you to more easily experience reality. As you rest in, and trust the truth about yourself, and others, fear will begin to drop away. Life experiences will seem easier, and you will discover that you have become a teacher, way shower, and light for those still struggling, and seeking. Many of you are already there. Yay!